What's what are some other big picture kind of things or small picture? Could be a player, could be a play, could be anything. Like what's on your mind? Because I know you got a lot on your mind. You've been sitting on
Oh,
this loss here.
well, that discipline been bothering me for the longest. It don't matter the coach. It don't matter who it is. And that's another thing. I'm gonna go back to it. Like the days of the old, they put laws in now, so you can't be a cowboy no more. It's over. So now you got to get with the times. That undisciplined football, we're gonna continue to lose. We're gonna continue to lose. They ready to cheat you. They ready to. So yes, that got to get fixed.
And I really wonder what it is because I know this team practice is hard. Like one thing about this team, you
Yeah,
say what you want. It's not a country club environment at
right.
practice. I know that because I've seen it. I've seen other practices that we've had. I've seen between Coker, Shannon, Golden, Rick, Diaz. So I've seen a lot of different types of practices. This is on the harder end of practices, if not the hardest of all those coaches. Maybe Butch is the last one, just from a physicality of practice, the intensity, the way, the pace, and all that kind of stuff. But the reality is, you go back to Oregon. This is one of the most penalized teams in the country. You go to Miami since he's been here. It's been one of those penalized team in the country. And I've been talking to people. Someone I know who's a coach or on a staff at another team. He's like, look, you don't want to look just at pure penalties because some penalties, like if you play a lot of man to man, you're gonna get PIs and stuff like that. But he goes pre-snap, post-snap. That's when you kind of know discipline being an issue. And you look at this game post-snap with Marquise Lightfoot. Questionable call. I get it, but it happened and it was a backbreaker. Pre-snap, we don't got to go over the list. I mean, it's a million things and it's a consistent deal. I mean, like, how do we even say fix this when there's been a problem consistently over a long period of time?
You got to though, because they telling you. It's like it's telling you. We keep losing games because of this. Like we don't lost plenty of games because of this. Don't get me wrong. It's getting more highlighted because we actually, you know what I'm saying, looking even more better than before. So when we play these teams that got something to prove, because they looking at it like this is my shot to go to the league. It's Miami. You gotta tighten up. Cause we play more discipline. We run away with this game. Hands down. You run away with it. You run away with it. So it got to get fixed, man. I don't know if you got to do what Pat Riley and the Miami Heat do, bring military people and get military style. I don't know. Maybe you do. Like, but it got to get fixed. All this must get fixed because I don't want this to happen. I just don't. I
No,
want you
so
to succeed.
you look at penalties per game, right? So let's just start at the bottom, which is where we're at right here. Miami, 134th in penalties per game, 8.6.
Mm-hmm.
Now you had 6 in the loss in the win against Notre Dame, 6 in the win against Florida. So when you're even operating at an average level, those have been some of your better performances. And so, look, Texas A&M has a lot of penalties. Not every team has a lot of penalties. Is totally undisciplined or unsuccessful. But man, look at these teams at the top. You look at Iowa, Army, Minnesota, Penn State, Northwestern, Indiana, Wisconsin, right here, Ohio State, number 1 team in the country, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to play that style of play, Oregon's not that far off. Georgia Tech. If you're going to play that style of play where you're living by the down and distance, stick to stick, you got to control the penalties because these teams, they successfully play that style. Obviously, you want to be more explosive than Iowa. I'm not saying we want to be Iowa in that offense.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if you're going to play, like if that's going to be generally your identity, you got to avoid these penalties, or else you kind of got the worst of both worlds. You're playing for the sticks, but you're not winning that battle because of penalties.
Yep. And you must clean that up. That's why I'm like, hey, man, philosophy change. You got to be disciplined. Like right now, we're undisciplined. Got to become disciplined. You know what I'm saying? And then you win more games, like hands down, because look at this defense. If we had that offense that we had with Cam Ward, with this defense, we're getting ring fitted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it just like you show you can have the explosive offense. Now you got to match the two. Get the explosive offense with this good defense, and let's make something happen. Like right now, you got to lock in and salvage the season. You got to fix this right now. Like we got to step on the roach and Fran Brown. We got to finish the season strong. You know what I'm saying?
This is a good point from 220 Greenwich. When does Morrow shoot out a guy or the whole offensive line on the sidelines? And look, I'm not saying you got to be performing, putting on a show for the cameras like your boyfriend, just doing all that stuff for the cameras. But you see the big time coaches that get paid the most to win the most, and when you see these kind of constant mistakes, watching a Kirby Smart, watching a Nick Saban when he was rolling, that players are getting chewed out for these kind of unforced errors.
Yeah.
Visibly, not for show. You're seeing refs getting chewed out when they make these calls. And I've said, look, the refs are not the reason we lost, in my opinion, because when you always are getting penalized, and you're always kind of putting yourself in bad positions, it's going to go against you at times. But certainly there were some terrible calls. So like, I'm hesitant to be like, hey, chew this guy out, put on a show. But it is kind of noticeable. I don't know if you're seeing the same thing.
I see.
You see other guys doing it that get paid a lot of money and win a lot of games, and we're not seeing it as much when our guys make mistakes.
Yeah, we saw it one time and against Cam Kitchens and never before. Yeah, we got to get back to that. You got to get on these players. That old line, they moving like they Teflon. Like no, they got to get something said to. Like things must change. Like I said, it got to change. It got to get fixed, man. It must get fixed.
Tyler Canes saying, can we be real for a second? Even with these penalties, we're 10 times more disciplined and the culture is better than previous regimes. Morrow needs to stay as the best we've had in a decade. I don't think what you're saying is necessarily wrong. I don't think it's necessarily right. What I'm saying is you got 4 games right now. You just took a potentially crippling loss to your goals this season.
Yeah.
If we're going to see the culture and we're going to see all that change from the past, the November swoon is one tough loss as opposed to a tough loss that leads to 3 losses. Right? We have seen this so many times the past 20 years that if you ask me to bet right now, and I'm the most optimistic guy in the world, and I picked 10-2 before the season, so I'd love for that prediction to be true, at least at this point. We already got the 2 losses. If I'm betting, I'd bet we don't go 4-0 just because even though we're better than all those teams, we typically crumble at this time. And that's just the reality of the deal. And our trajectory is not the right direction. So this to me is a big test of the culture. If you can get through this stretch 4-0, it's not the goal, but it would be telling one way or the other how this thing goes.
Yes. You definitely should want to finish strong. I think back to Rick finishing strong in 2016.
Yep.
That was a good sign. Then 2017 happened. You definitely want to finish strong. But you just got to start stacking them games. You got to start with Fran Brown and his goofy ass. Like, you got to step on him. You know what I'm saying? Because, I wouldn't be shocked at 8-4. So that's why I said he just got to fix it, man. Because, you can see it. Like, if we stay undisciplined, we will be 8-4. But you fix the discipline part, you start, you know what I'm saying? Now you starting to look like what you wanted to be. But this got to get fixed. Like, I'm sorry. This can't go on no more. We got to get with the times. We got to be one of the disciplined teams. Like, I ain't saying we got to be just outright, you know what I'm saying? Like you said.
Army, yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is it got, because it's like, it's happening too many times. It has happened too many times.